So you're in college, and you're in one of your harder classes that you've taken since you've graduated high school. You've been studying for this test. You know it's a hard class. You've been prepared. You've been studying as much as you think you do, or as much as you think you need to. You get to class. You're taking the test, and it's a lot harder than you thought. You're confused. You're a little distraught. You're sweating. You don't know what to do. You finally finish the test. You turn it in. Once you're done, your mind's kind of blown. You're like, I don't know what else I could have done in order to do better. You get your test back and you did terrible. You think that you don't know what to do from here on. This isn't even your hardest class for your major. It's just the hardest class you've taken so far. And you're not sure how you're going to get through this class, much less your major. What would you say if I could say that I could get you trained, or better yet, your children from the future, trained for occasions like this when you're put down, you don't know where to go, and you don't know what to do from here? Well, I wrestled in high school, and it trained me and helped me through such occasions as this. They're hard, you've been put down, and you don't know where to go from here, but through wrestling it's taught me to be a stronger person and to keep persevering and moving on. A wrestler can learn self-confidence, mental toughness, discipline, value hard work and preparation, all in one wrestling season. There's a clear need in today's society for those things that I just mentioned. We have people and children who don't go outside, don't go play with and socially interact with people. They play video games all the time. Per the CDC, there's an 18% of children are obese, which is extremely high. Unemployment's through the roof. People just don't have the drive in order to the drive and strive to do better for themselves as they ought to, all of this shows that there's a need for more wrestlers, more people who have been put down and taught what to do how to get back up. So how can wrestling really help you in the future? It's an individual sport as well as a team sport. So you learn the individual aspect of being put down and training for yourself as well as for your team, because there are team tournaments as well as individual tournaments. And also you're out on the mat with one other person. So when you're out there wrestling them, it's you against him. And if you haven't trained hard enough, you haven't put everything into it, and as much as you think you should have, and you lose, that's on you. If you win, it's also on you. There's no one else you can blame. There's no one you can point the finger at. It's all on you. It shows yourself how tough you can be. You can learn discipline because you have to train. You have to manage your weight in a healthy manner to meet the weight specifications for the weight class that you're wrestling. Hard work, it teaches you hard work because you have to train. Yes, you may be athletic, but if you train harder than someone else, then you have a lot better of a chance in order to win and persevere through that. You experience failure and success as an individual. Both of those things are great. Yes, no one wants to fail, but if you've experienced failure, you know how to succeed from then on if you persevere and move forward and work hard. Mental toughness, because when you're out there on the mat, you're tired, you've been sweating, you trained before the tournament, and you're out there wrestling this one individual, and you don't know how you're going to push and get through. That mental toughness is what's going to help you push through. How to socially interact. Just like any organized sport, you're going to be with other people your age, adults. At wrestling tournaments, you're gonna know how to socially interact with people and just talk with them simply. It's a very good skill to have for the future. You're gonna learn physical strength. You have to train, you have to weight train, and you have to stay in shape in order to wrestle. Anyone can wrestle, whether it's a boy, a girl. There was a man who went to Arizona State University who won the NCAA tournament. He has a national title under his name, and he only has one leg. That takes amazing strength mentally, physically, and everything in order to do all that. It's crazy to think that someone, with one leg is able to do that. Also, there's not many, if any, other sports where you can persevere and push yourself individually like that with having things wrong with you, such as missing an arm or a leg. Makes you more athletic for other sports because you learn balance, you learn how to control yourself, and learn how to win and lose humbly. That's a great thing that you need to have in life. You're going to lose at some point, whether an interview or something, and losing with being humble is a great characteristic to have as a person. Like I said, you have to put an effort into the competition. Sometimes you are equally as athletic as someone, and they may have worked harder, or you may have worked harder than them. And most of the times, the athleticism isn't the only thing that's going to get you through. It's going to be how much work you've put into it. Wrestlers don't wrestle just because it's popular and you can make millions one day. You can't. You can only wrestle at the Olympic level, where you definitely don't make millions of dollars. I'm not even sure if you make six figures doing that. You wrestle for your country and for your pride and for yourself. And that's one thing that we need as a country and as individuals is pride, and in order to go and do things for yourself, not just for the money or the fame. You also learn self-defense, which is a great thing to have for anyone. You learn how to control another person if that ever happened. Hopefully that never happens, but it's good to know a little bit of self-defense, and wrestling can definitely help you with that. Also, what the main point is when you get knocked down, you learn how to get right back up and keep working harder. All of this shows how wrestling can help you, and that there's a solution to help with these attributes that a lot of people don't have and that they need. So back to what we were talking about at the beginning. You're out of a job, you got fired for whatever reason, and you are trying to get another job. You've had interview after interview, and they just don't seem to come through. Nothing seems to come through like you want and like you're hoping. So what do? What do you do now? Well, with my experience and everything that you can learn from wrestling, you know what to do. You know to persevere, push forward, and just keep chugging along until something works, because that's what you've learned. You've been in that type of scenario before, and that's what you did, and that's what helped you go through. So that's an example of how wrestling can help in a real-life situation today. There are people out there who don't have the drive. Do you want to be one of them? No. Do you want your children to be one of them? No, you don't. You want them to persevere and continue and do better for themselves and their family and the ones around them in the future. Do you want to help the kids of America? Do you want to help the youth persevere for themselves? That's it. Thank you.